How's it going, everybody? How the hell are you? Welcome back to the Nerdy Jock. We're still doing it. You'll notice now that I am standing instead of sitting down in the noisiest chair on planet Earth. Gives me more freedom, people. I don't know what to tell you, but there's lots of things going on and I need to stand up for all of it, okay? Alright, we came off the weekend of football that was... I went 1-1. That's not terrible. It was 50%. To be fair, I don't necessarily think the Bengals won a football game. I think Patrick Mahomes lost a football game. But hey, that's just me. Alright, so we got the Bengals and we got the Rams in the Super Bowl. Not this weekend, but next weekend because they got to do the Pro Bowl. It doesn't matter. We got Bengals, we got Rams, and it is going to be a banger. I love that these two teams are in there. Really, you couldn't have gone wrong with any team that was going to probably move forward. The entire playoffs has been fantastic. And let's face it, we've really been spoiled this year when it comes to playoff football. It's super fun to watch. It's engaging. I am on board. And man, you just realize how much the NFL kind of rules the weekend when it comes to playoff time. All right, so let's look back at it. We had the Bengals, we had the Chiefs. It went to overtime. I figured that the Chiefs were going to put this one away, and really in the first half they did for the most part. And then just, I don't even know, a tale of two football games really is what I feel it came down to. The Bengals just kept coming. They hung around and they hung around, they hung around, they believed in themselves. The Chiefs win the coin toss again, but this time Patrick Mahomes throws it away. And like I said, I don't personally think that the Bengals really won a football game. Really, the Chiefs lost a football game. Patrick Mahomes lost a football game. But that's really what we love about Patrick Mahomes. It's the ups, it's the downs, it's the incredible plays, it's the coming back from being terrible, and it's all of those things. And that's really what he was when he was drafted. There was good side, there was great upside, and then there was also this guy who loses confidence in himself, I guess. I don't know, but it's there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. A great season the Chiefs had. The Bengals and Joe Burrow are going to the Super Bowl. Can't wait. Super pumped about it. Really glad that they're there. And I think they're going to make it an interesting ball game for sure. Moving over to the other side, though, the Rams and the 49ers went at it. And like I said, the 49ers, while I did enjoy the team and while that defense did play better than I thought, again, Cooper Kupp, how are you going to stop them? You know what I mean? There was nobody on the 49ers that had an answer for them. The LA Rams they just keep coming. They kept Von Miller and Aaron Donald off announcers' mouths for the most part in that game. But when it mattered, yeah, that front is coming. The fact that Joe Burrow has not exactly had the best protection, how are you going to plan for that? Because really, they're coming after you and you better have something ready to go. You better be able to dump that ball off quickly. Jimmy G, I think for the most part, managed the game, and then all of a sudden they couldn't run the ball. They couldn't get the ball running. That's how they win games. They want to run the ball. They want to move it that way. They don't necessarily want Garoppolo throwing the ball all the time. And well, guess what? The Rams said, we're going to put the ball in your hands and you're going to have to make a play. And he couldn't make a play. Is that the end of Jimmy Garoppolo in San Francisco for the 49ers? I mean, maybe. You know what? The way this whole NFL quarterback shuffle thing is running around, who knows? I hope he lands somewhere. I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. I think he's good enough to get a job somewhere else. Maybe they just want to go with Trey Lance. Who knows? I don't know. We got to talk about it, though, don't we? What do you mean? Talk about what? You know what I mean. Haven't the foggiest. You're an idiot. Oh, you mean the Brady thing. Right. Okay, I got it. Yeah, guys, Tom Brady officially retired, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was telling myself I am not going to believe it until it comes from him. There was no way I was trusting anybody reporting, oh, Tom Brady's going to retire, until Tom Brady himself came out and said, I'm not coming back. And he did. He came out and he said it. Funny enough, though, what he didn't say was almost more intriguing than the fact that he was saying he was retired. Because the Patriots or Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, do not show up anywhere in his goodbye speech. Look, I'm not saying it's all that weird, and it could have just been a type of just not thinking, he was just typing in the moment. 100% that can happen, but the Patriots were kind of a big part of his career. Kind of a very large part of the 22-year career that he had. Kind of 20 years of a 22-year career that he had. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but something happened, and I think it's telling. All right, let's just look back at this career. I mean, most Super Bowl wins with 7. Most games won by a player. Most games played by a quarterback. Most games started by a quarterback. Most passing completions, most touchdowns thrown, most passing yards thrown. I mean, most fourth quarter comebacks. The guy has literally done it all. I believe he's also got the most MVPs, Super Bowl MVPs won by a player. Is he the greatest quarterback of all time? Right now he is. Yeah, 100%. Now, if another quarterback comes along and beats him, then okay, fine. I highly doubt it. It feels very Wayne Gretzky-ish. But yeah, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Love it or hate it, it is what it is. Say it was the coach, well, he changed teams and won a Super Bowl with a different coach, so you can't really say it was the coach. You can say it was the system. Well, he went to a different system and won a Super Bowl with that, so you can't really say it's the system. The dude did it all. Now, here's where I might get a little bit of heat back at me, because this is a bit of a spicy take. Okay, maybe it's not that spicy, but the point is that people are like, oh, Tom Brady, greatest athlete of all time. Hard no. Yeah, guys, he's not the greatest athlete of all time, okay? If you want to actually look at athletes, I can pick like a fourth liner on Minnesota and be like, that's a better athlete. But is he the greatest thinker of the game? Is he the guy who showed up in the room and studied everything, knew what you were going to do, saw it all, was able to think his way around the field? He is the ultimate chess player. Look, there's a reason he went 199th or whatever it was in the bloody draft, okay? Now, he used that and he got his butt into the film room and the study room and worked on everything. And yes, his body is a temple and he eats avocado ice cream and whatever. But have you seen that guy run? Like, the athletic prowess is not exactly oozing out of this guy. But I digress. The point is, he's the greatest quarterback to ever play this game. And it was an absolute privilege to watch him work. Even when he beat my team, and even did it last year when it was Drew Brees' last year in the league and we all kind of knew it. The guy was great and it was fun to watch. Sometimes you don't realize it when it's happening and you're almost spoiled when you're watching it because you just see it over and over and over and over again. The point is, the guy's got 7 rings. Nobody else does. So yeah, greatest quarterback of all time. Okay, guys, I've been talking about it, and I am so glad that it finally happened. But the legend of VOX Machina is now on Amazon Prime. Go and watch this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was a little internet show that happened back in 2015. It was a D&D game. Creator was Matt Mercer. There was a bunch of voice actors. They sat around, they played Dungeons and Dragons, they rolled some dice. It was very fun to watch and hilarious and compelling and fun and enjoyable to tune in. Well, for me, I binge watching because I missed the first part of it. But I caught it at a time, to be honest with you, that I really needed to catch this show. And it was something, to be brutally honest, that I needed in my life at that moment in time where I really didn't have anything to hold on to. There was a time in my life where I felt very lost. You know, it brought me back and it threw the creativity back into my mind and allowed me to express myself and that nerdy side of me again and have it come out. And basically me doing this, it's all brought back to those guys in VOX Machina and Critical Role and Geek and Sundry and watching all of those wonderful creators and the talent, and now watching the third campaign that's starting with Critical Role. It really has been an amazing journey from my point of view. I can't imagine what it is for them, but they have this show now. It's an animated show. It was completely driven and funded by the fan, and they started a Kickstarter. They were just going to do, I think, like a 30-minute spot, little cartoon show thing, and it grew. And they raised over $11 million. It got picked up by Amazon. Guys, there are 3 episodes already on there. It is a fantastic watch. The first 3 episodes really introduce you to the characters, introduce you to the dynamics that we as fans of the internet show really love, and it's just fantastic. I mean, the first episode alone, it gets you into knowing who the shits are, and that's what they called themselves before they became VOX Machina and the show and everything. But it really just gets you involved. The second episode, it's basically starting prior to their actual internet campaign, so it's telling the story of one that we didn't really know, and there's also a comic book series, and it's after that. So it's after the comic book series, but before the actual internet show starts, kind of in between that. But I feel like they're actually going to get into the internet show as well, because they're introduced that in the third episode when we talk about the Briarwoods. So guys, if you're looking for something to watch, if you love that fantasy genre of elves and D&D and everything like that. You gotta check this show out. And even if you don't, check it out just for your own sake. I think it's such a wonderful story. To be able to watch that and maybe even be a part of that in some way, I think you owe it to yourself. And it was just a great time. Now, if you aren't watching the Critical Role on YouTube or on Twitch, definitely I would say check it out as well. They're into a new campaign. It's not that many episodes in. I think they're only 11. I believe might be even 12 this week. Definitely check it out if you want to sort of understand D&D and understand what it's all about. It's a great way to kind of get into that. For my fans of D&D who are watching the show, I think you're going to pick up a lot of little things. For the layman who may watch and see somebody miss an attack or trip over somebody and shoot an arrow into the roof, those are things that people who have played the game know, they fumbled on that one. They rolled the 1, they didn't roll the 20, or they rolled poorly. There's one where they're walking around across rocks and somebody falls. It's like, oh, they missed an athletics check. And all of those little things, they really do bring it into the show. It makes me smile every single time when I'm watching it. So, like I said, first 3 episodes are up. Check it out. Super fun to watch. I'm so glad that it's on. And you know what? Moving forward, it'll be 1 episode a week. We'll talk about the episode. I'll try not to spoil anything, but yeah, I'll put up a disclaimer. All right, guys, sticking with the D&D train and moving forward, we're going to start diving into the good old Player's Handbook. And I thought, what better way to dive into the Player's Handbook than with a little character creation. And without giving anything away or doing any terrible accents, we're going to be diving into the Player's Handbook and reading little sections of it, trying to give people a little bit of a better understanding of the game and how to create things and how to jump into it yourself with a little character that I created who is a dwarven barbarian paladin. Yes, at some point he did find religion. Whose name is Quartz. Very simple. He's a very simple individual. The point is, though, is that it's just a way to be fun and hopefully get you guys into games, especially into this one. And I'm actually creating a brand new campaign myself, so, we'll talk about that stuff as well and kind of get into things. And, the first things first is obviously, and especially in the Player's Handbook, how to build a character and get into races, characters, and classes, and personalities, and such. And you may even find yourself building barbarian who finds religion at one point, multi-classes into this absolutely ridiculous creation. But it's super fun. So I hope you'll tune in for that. By all means, guys, drop some comments into the box down below. I'm going to link in, again, my TikTok, my Instagram, all that fun stuff, Twitter. Follow me on there. What you guys think maybe you want me to talk about. It's all good. Do me a favor, though. Hit that like button. Smack that subscribe. We're just trying to grow the channel, guys. I'm having a ton of fun with this. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys stopping by. And remember, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, always remember, guys, it's always game time, baby. Let's go!